Hey guys, and welcome to the Igloo today. And today we're going to be talking about the extreme nerf and alternatives that you'll be having, pretty much confirming my theory video on top of what I was saying for the next best kind of weapons that would be inside Fallout 76. So we're going to get into it. We are going to be looking at the damage pre-patch, which for the two-shot explosive hunting rifle that I have and the bloodied explosive hunting rifle that I have, max level for both, because they are snipers in that benefactor, they are doing 1,092 damage for the two-shot explosive version, and then the bloodied explosive version, it does 1,059 pre-patch. Post-patch, it does, for the bloodied, 463, and then for the two-shot explosive, 316. Especially for my pure build with max perception, with all the cards pretty much on my character, making sure everything has been procced. This is how it is, okay? Again, this is your best scenario with a pure build. Not everybody's going to have a pure build, but you're going to have to benefit from this. Now, I'm still going to be able to one-shot ghouls, one-shot anything else, especially if I change out the anti-armor card for the Ghoul Slayer card, for that extra 20% or whatever damage that is on the card. I personally don't use it, so again, it's good for to each his own, but I had that character made for PvP/PvE secondary. So again, until I get the cards on that character and level it up just a little bit, then I could be able to swap those cards. But I do not have that ability to do so right now. But again, I don't need to be able to unless I'm worrying about my ammo counts in White Springs or Manoa or Harper's Ferry or just anywhere that has a glowing one. So we're going to be getting into what I would be saying is really, really good on afterwards. And this is pretty much what replaces two-shot explosive. Now, I can confirm that bloodied explosive will replace two-shot explosive because I have that in my inventory. It does like 150 plus more damage for just my hunting rifle alone when I'm min-maxing. Now, do you want to min-max yourself and your character? No. Maybe you're not a sneak build, okay? Maybe you need to actually worry about something different. Maybe you're a melee build. Maybe you're a heavy gunner build. Heavy gunner build, you're still going to need to do min-max for the most amount of damage. It's just how it is. Unfortunately, you can't just be rummaging about, making sure that you are stacked. Again, if you're in power armor, there's different builds for you so that you can actually tank some damage, especially while you have 20% of your health. But those are different videos that I do not have ready yet. So, next thing is the weapons themselves. There are other variants, like the instigating explosive, does double the damage the first shot you fire. And then you do explosive on top of that, including with the nerf, it still will one-shot most things, in particular when you are PvEing. You're going to be able to tag everything properly because you have that first shot. If you are the first one to do damage on that specific target, you will do max damage onto it. Now, again, this is what you have. This is the amount of damage that can be calculated. Instigating is extremely powerful, especially in your range compilations. So if you have an instigating explosive, great. Okay, you are fine. Okay, next one that would be great after that is a Furious Explosive. Furious Explosive is another combination that could be used as well as the two-shot explosive. Now, the reason why I rate two-shot explosive as third now is because of the big benefactor that you have to do. VATS. VATS still has a problem when shooting at range. So if you are shooting at range with VATS builds, you will not be able to hit your target sometimes. Like, one bullet will veer completely off of left field, and the other might miss it because of how VATS works with the two-shot variant mod that's in the legendary effect. So again, I would not want to recommend to have a two-shot explosive, especially if you're aiming at range. A bloodied explosive, a instigating explosive, or let's say this, Furious Explosive. The reason why anti-armor explosive is not in this category, and I will specify this in particular, is that it works completely fine when you don't have the effect of anti. Okay? Anti-armor is fine by itself. The minute that anti-armor and explosive are put together, it negates all of the anti-armor capabilities, and all you have is a explosive weapon. Okay? I've had this happen so many times. I had this on my anti-armor explosive handmade level 45, and it just does not do work. It really doesn't do work. I have it in my collection just in case they fix it, but personally, it is probably one of the lowest rated ones, even below suppressors, because suppressors at least works right now, okay? But anti-armor explosive does not work at this current moment, and it hasn't worked since launch, especially with that. I'm not saying that anti-armor plus 50% damage to vets doesn't work, because that does work, and that actually chews through people, and it's really nice when you can actually see that. Again, it's a great variety weapon. If you are able to negate 50% armor, and you're able to have the tank killer card on top of it, and then you have the armor piercing magazine, or what is it called, piercing mag or something like that, if you have that on top of it, or stingy mag, like, you're able to do so much more negation to that one particular target that you can actually go through most of their armor if you highlight that one specific spot. It's very important when it comes to PvP and chewing through Assassin's Sentinel, Assassin's Cavalier, or different types of build if you are wanting to deal with a ranged weapon. Okay, not a melee weapon and then giving him the good old anti-armor Deathclaw gauntlet to the face with like 40% faster swing speed. Like, we know that melee can chew through these types of people, but sometimes you can't get close when they were able to shoot you from afar. Again, range is a factor when it comes to PvP and also PvE in these types of categories. I'm not going to go into melee weapons because they haven't been touched, so everybody knows what your best weapons are. It's a power fist. It's a hook as well. That's a good one. Also, the Gorgok axe, probably one of the best ones. And then the super sledge. I mean, all the other ones are garbage, in my opinion, especially based on what you have to base your calculations on. So that's why I personally do not like that kind of combo preset in that kind of category. So, my final thoughts when it comes to this kind of nerf. I agree that, to a lot of people as well, that the two-shot explosive nerf was a little too much, okay? Honestly, it was a little too much. It nerfed a lot of things because it got rid of a lot of benefactors when it came to multiplicative properties and additive properties when it came to the two-shot explosive. Now, maybe in the future we might be having different weapon categories with 4 to 5 stars, but in the current state of the game, when I'm able to kill the queen with around 500 handmade shots of Bloodied explosive with my own character min-maxing using unyielding and Bloodied weapon effects, it is still a queen killer. You still chew through her, but not as much as what you once were. So again, if you're able to maximize the best of your abilities to a certain extent with some of these pieces, you can go through her pretty quickly. Like before, I was mainly max wasting 150, 200 bullets, but now I'm wasting probably around 500, 600 bullets. Which, to be fair, when it comes to the best boss in the game, it should be a little bit more tanky in that kind of environment. But at the same time, it shouldn't feel like a chore for, like, most people. Again, if you're going to be having a boss that's going to be dropping the best loot in the game, you should be prepared instead of just casually using a two-shot explosive in order for you to try and get some okay gear. Again, this also leads to the other subject. When I did kill the queen twice after the patch, I was getting pretty good legendaries, like with Fall Effect, 3 stars, And I was nailing it with like the best legendaries, especially in marine armor. I had 2 drops of just having marine armor with 3 stars. And it was really nice, especially to see that it's very rewarding if you put all that time and effort that you actually get an okay piece. And that's not what a lot of people have been saying, especially for what I've been hearing around YouTube. I've been hearing from other people is that they didn't look at the full scope when it came to rebalancing of tables and a few other things. Yes, we do not know the actual loot tables for the queen, but they feel like they've been better because of this nerf. So again, that's my bias. I only killed 2 queens. Before this patch, I probably killed maybe 200, 300 queens, something like that. I mainly do queen killing in Robco, besides what I put in the video, because I just want to have something different instead of doing the same thing mundanely over and over again. If you guys like this kind of content, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment down below. And if you really want to help out, there's a Patreon. If I am live streaming this kind of stuff, I will answer your questions. I am trying to live stream on YouTube instead of Twitch because I get a lot more feedback from you guys. You guys ask a lot more questions, and I'm able to answer a lot of them for you, especially when it comes to the environment that we're in right now. So again, thank you guys. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers. Personally, thank you. I've never seen that I've had this much success from you guys. And you guys make me want to work harder so I can actually enjoy this with you guys. Because I enjoy helping every one of you. Have a good one.